Every year, starting about February on up through April, I start seeing my sheep have all these dirty butts. They start scouring. They start looking just terrible. They start having diarrhea. And when I first started in 2009, which is 16 years ago, raising sheep, it really concerned me. I thought they might have coccidiosis or worms, but it's not true. In the spring, they start eating all the little fresh grass that's popping up and wild onions and other things like that. And it triggers this response that I would call spring cleaning. It actually cleans out their intestinal tracts and gets them ready for producing. So just like they butt heads, they scour. It's just something they do. In 16 years, I've never once dewormed my St. Croix sheep. I've never treated them for coccidiosis. I've never put any chemicals on them at all. And if they do have a problem like this, then I just cull them. I cull the sick ones or the skinny ones and keep all the fat ones. And I don't care what they look like. I just care what their body condition is like. And so by culling the skinny ones, then I'm getting rid of the genetics of any animal that doesn't produce. Now, Coccidia is a protozoa that lives in feces. And so if you're tying up your sheep or keeping them in a place where they can't get out and get fresh pasture, and they've got all this feces, they may nibble on it. So the cure for Coccidia is just to get your sheep out on fresh pasture. I only lock them up at night to keep them away from the coyotes. The other thing is, if you ever go with Big Pharma and start using chemicals to keep your sheep healthy and to try and stop them from doing the natural things they do, like scouring and getting rid of all the parasites out of the inside of them, once you start using chemicals with your sheep, you'll always be using chemicals for your sheep. Now here's a sheep that looks kind of skinny, and I'm going to keep my eye on it. If it doesn't improve once the weather gets better and it gets more grass to eat, I'm going to cull it. I'm going to put that in my freezer. And this guy looks pretty healthy, so I'm going to keep him. But once you start using chemicals, then you're going to let these skinny sheep survive. And the skinny sheep that can't make it, that can't thrive without chemicals to treat, the barber pole worm or coccidiosis, that's what your whole flock's going to be like that. You are just masking the problem. You're making them look like they're healthy when they're really not, because they can't make it without chemicals. So my natural way to treat scours or treat any problem without using chemicals is to do what nature does and to cull the ones that don't need to be here. If they can't make it, if they're a little bit sick, in nature they will be the ones that would be captured by a predator because they're just a little bit weaker and can't run as fast, can't do as well. And you don't want to cull any animal until the grass really comes out so they can thrive, and also after the mamas wean their lambs. I've got some older mamas here that have lambs on them, and they look kind of thin right now, but they'll fatten back up. But as they get older, they're a little bit thinner, and but that's okay. They're still producing lambs for me, and I'm happy with that until they get to where they can't produce anymore. Pure natural sheep without chemicals, without hormones, without injections, without vaccines. You really can't find that today. Almost every farmer is doing it the wrong way. Well, thanks for watching the video.